No tracks, no huts, no route on a map, and a dodgy weather forecast. Sounds like fun. We started the trip with an early morning helicopter flight from Bluff to the mudflats at the western end of Cook Arm in the trackless deep south of Stewart Island in New Zealand. Trudging off across the mudflats, we took a moment to watch seals cavorting in the water, then quickly set up camp and headed for the Fraser Range. If you would like more videos like this, please like and subscribe. This range features the majestic exfoliated granite cones and outcrops of Gog, Magog and Halluman. In his inaugural botanical survey of the island in 1907, Leonard Cochrane stated, "This is the veritable Land's End, where naked granite cones pierce the heavens, rising from a bleak and barren moorland framed by the evergreen New Zealand forest, here at its most southern outpost." The timing of the trip was built around having low tides in the mornings at the start of the trip. Day 2 had us walking the length of Cook Arm on a low tide, crossing mudflats, wading and taking to the land where necessary. We were surprised to knock this section out in only 2¼ hours, but now the fun would begin, tackling Rakiura's infamous scrub and bush. At 3½ hours later, we were setting up camp a mere 1.5 kilometres to the north as the crow flies speaks to the difficulty of the terrain and vegetation we encountered. A soggy day, soggy camp, soggy night. Day 3, more of the same. Some reasonable travel, but mostly a constant battle with the vegetation, and another sodden campsite, with intermittent rain, dripping bush and constant high humidity. By now most of our kit was either wet or damp. Day 4 saw us navigate quite quickly to above Belltopper Falls, where the raging Pegasus Creek greeted us. What to do? We figured we had 3 possible options. 1, head to the coast and wade, possibly swim around the stream outlet. No takers. Option 2, camp nearby and wait for it to drop enough to cross. But how long would that be? Option 3, head upstream as far as necessary to safely cross, the only realistic choice. So upstream we went. We lucked out with a manageable crossing of the first tributary thanks to a fallen tree, but the main stream was still heavily in flood. We ended up camping all of 1.5 kilometres as the crow flies from yesterday's camp. Some day. Day 5, expecting to be battling bush all day and probably still not getting across the stream, we were amazed to see it had dropped metres overnight and was now safe to cross. The cheers that erupted were probably heard in Oban, the relief apparent in our cheesy grins. We now plotted a route to intersect the surveyor's track running from Port Pegasus up onto the Tin Range. This we achieved with a mix of reasonable and pretty miserable travel and camped at the dam near the top of that track. Day 6 had us climbing up onto the Tin Range and traversing to just northeast of Mount Ellen. Today was our first day with no rain, but decidedly cool with a steady breeze, and we kept on the move. In New Zealand, the tin range is the only locality where tin is found in any quantity. We found travel over the range reasonably straightforward, as there was a well-trodden ground trail which was keened with rocks or a vertical stick. Awesome terrain, surreal light at times and superb views. The sun even popped out for a few seconds, and with the rain staying away till the evening, we even managed to dry some gear. We found the campsites at either end of the tarn below Mount Allen to be very exposed, and the extra hours travel to the headwaters of Kopeka River to camp was well worth the effort. Day 7, one of those tough days on the tops. Head down and ploughing on through the clag all day. No views to be had as we hunkered down for another wet night in our tents. Day 8, as the weather started to clear, we used our rest day to move camp but stay on the tops to enjoy the views. Day 9, we slid down the hill to the Southern Circuit track, slithered through the infamous Rakiura mud to Rakiura hut for lunch. Stewart Island is one of the only places in New Zealand where you can see kiwi during the day. We now had a 12-kilometre slog around the coast in driving rain. Luckily the tide was out and we walked across a few bays missing some heinous mud traps. We left a 21-kilometre day. Day 10 saw us take an early morning water taxi from Fred's camp to Oban. This was an epic trip in a remote and largely trackless area. Tough but awesome.